The final Group 1 of the season comes up on Sunday at Sha Tin. It's the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup. We've got a good Group 3 sprint to go along with that as well. All of that plus, well, 11 races on the card as well here on Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined in the studio by race caller Brett Davis and race caller Tom Wood as well. Tom, it's a good card on Sunday. Looking forward to it.
Huge day of racing coming up. Andrew, of course, the Group 1, the last Group 1 of the season, and Exalted looking to round out the year with 3 Group 1s. We've got Pakistan Star, who had that enormous trial with the blinkers off, and the Japanese horse, a bit of a story about him, partly crowd-funded to come here, and here he is to try and do the business.
Absolutely, out of the NAR as opposed to JRA as well. It's a story in itself. Brad, have we got anything bonus-wise?
We do, Andrew, yes. $1.9 million of bonus money in the six-up, so there'll be plenty of interest in the six-up. And dare I say it, I'm banking on a big race day for Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup. We've got the Sha Tin Vase as well, which is a very interesting sprint. We see Wishful Thinker return. The undercard is super. A lot of future stars of the turf here in Hong Kong on show. Athero and Voyage Warrior, probably the main two.
Certainly are, yeah, and he'll kick the programme off in actual fact. So 11 races to get through, plenty on our plates. We'll launch straight into it. As far as the scratchings are concerned, though, Sunny Major is now replaced by Kwai Chong Brothers. Neil Callan in the saddle amongst the winners at Happy Valley midweek. And in race number 6, out of the Sha Tin Vase, Born in China, unfortunately out, not replaced there in the 6th event. The big one is race number 8. This is meeting number 75 of the season. We're on the A course. All 11 races are on the turf as well. We kick things off. Our opening contest is for the Griffins over the 1,200 metres. 5 horses making their debut, including Co-Partner with the blinkers on, the 3-year-old gelding. Far above, still a colt, a 3-year-old for Francis Lloyd Vincent Ho. Unexpected, a 3-year-old colt as well for Benno Young Keith Young. Athero, so impressive. Still a 2-year-old, remember, over the 1,000 metres, gets up to the 1,200 here. Joy Avenue, a 2-year-old on debut as well. Judy Star behind Winning Method last time out. And UW Brother, another 2-year-old. Derek Long will jump from barrier 2. Co-Partner and Joy Avenue, 2 of the debutants here, have been up at Chung Fry in the last month, Tom.
And having a look at the pace, good to slow, but Athero, unlike his barrier trials on debut, he showed plenty of pace, did Athero. He wasn't the quickest away in a recent barrier trial either, but he mustered speed shortly after. Newcomer Joy Avenue is interesting. He might show some space, some pace, and Sparkling Night, he wasn't too far off the speed when he ran as well.
This is Target Finder working down the back with the Flying Emperor. Target Finder is the horse closest to us. This was just a fairly light piece on the turf. He actually did quite a sharp piece on the 15th. It was noted that he closed off strongly behind Winning Method, obviously beaten a fair way, but still hit the line well, so the extra trip should suit. Here's the gallop from Athero. He had one on the 11th and this one on the 23rd, just moseying his way down the back, not really extended. But his trial leading in has been superb, and he obviously has a massive engine. And Judy Star made an impression on debut. He's had another couple of gallops since that performance. Joe Moreira will jump on, and you can see there, and I think Jenny mentioned it on race day, he's a nice enough looker too.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, was he, with his debut behind Winning Method? He was well beaten, though, by Athero on his first start. That's where we'll start with Athero and trainer John Moore.
Well, you know, he's still got a long way to go, but, you know, I knew from Australia, you know, from back in Muskoka that he was very talented there. They were giving him big raps then. And then, of course, when he arrives in Hong Kong and, you know, we started to get to the bottom of his, you know, the 2-year-old ability, you know, I got very excited. And, yeah, OK, his trials were a little lacklustre in the sense that he didn't jump away so well that day, but what a lot of people didn't realise that I'd taken him back to the gate with Romain, and I gave him a good smack, you know, to make sure he did jump, and he did over there at the 1800, which wasn't mentioned on the racing program. So he was sharpened up, and on the day he did jump, and he did what he had to do, and he won in very facile fashion. But you know the family, Pinocchio's family, we know about Classic Legend going to the Everest, half-brother. She can produce him, that mare, and I got lucky, and everybody knows the story. When at the English sale, when I saw him, he just reminded me of Abel Friend. So leading up into this, you know, till Sunday's 1,200, you know, I don't think it's going to be a problem. He's still got a little ways to go with respect to gate manners. He tends to get a bit fidgety in there, but I think we'll iron that out in time. very sound, never gone shin sore. Bottom line, what you asked me is that I think I've got a star in my hands, and I hope, tomorrow everything goes well, At the 1200, I do expect him to win. Again, the track conditions may have some...
an impact on the race?
An impact on the race, yeah, because the likelihood of a soft track is possible, looking at the weather report. But no, hopefully I've got another able friend, another able one. They all came from the yearling ranks.
Be nice to think so, wouldn't it? He was 1.3 on debut and made mincemeat of them. The horse that ran second came out and won impressively after that.
He certainly did. That was winning method, and I think the other horses in this just running for second, third, fourth prize money, to be honest.
You would think so, definitely. Going around the circle shouldn't be an issue, judged on his trial. No,
he is up to 1200. He is still a 2-year-old as well, but yeah, trialled very well around the belt on the all-weather as well. What of the competition then? Well, Judy's Star. So this is the horse that wins this race, is the horse that ran second to Athera, but Judy's Star, Target Finder, Shadowbreaker and Sparkle.
I didn't mind the way Target Finder was off the bit a long way out, and then he picked up some ground, and Judy's Star as well. We said going into this race that we thought Judy's Star might run a reasonable race behind Winning Method, and that certainly was the case. Target Finder probably will be looking for further than 1200. You can see he's just getting into fourth, but Judy's Star, I think if there's one to give Athero the most to do, it'll probably be Judy.
Yeah, I think he can run a race. He's one of the 4 2-year-olds in the race. It was a good effort from him.
All right, Joy Avenue, also a 2-year-old as well, on debut here by Echoes of Heaven. Dennis Yip, Grant Van Niekerk.
He's got a little bit of gate speed, I think, does Joy Avenue. Is a $30,000 purchase. He's actually a half-brother to More Than Lucky, and he's coming through this barrier trial where he ran second here at Happy Valley. He's got a couple of trial wins on the board in New Zealand as well, at least one anyway, and he was pretty dominant on that occasion. He's related to a few winners, so I think he can run a race here.
Yeah, I have snuck him in for fourth. I think pace will be his biggest attribute on debut. He could probably even give Athero potentially a little bit of curry early, but I think he'll weaken out. But Tom's made a good point about his breeding, related to a decent one here, so he gets a tick for me.
And the horse that won that trial, Triumphant Arch, will race on Sunday as well, off a mark of 70.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of speed too, so that highlights his pace.
Money back, though, Athero.
Yeah, can't tip against him, Andrew. He does look a real machine. Once he gets up and gliding, as we saw in that 1,000-metre race, he covers the ground so well. He's got such a high cruising speed. So if he's able to get into that comfort zone, he's clearly the one to beat. Judy Star, I think, will certainly run a creditable race. Target Finder and Joy Avenue to be up there, but just sort of weaken first up.
On top for me as well as Athero. I think he'll be very tough to roll in this race. Over a 9, Judy Star. Joy Avenue, another quick point on him. The horse he beat in a trial back in New Zealand, a listed winner and a Group 2 place getter. So keen to throw him in, and Sparkling Night my next best. 7, 9, 8 and 4. Yeah,
that's the obvious Quinella, I think. 7 and 9 in our opening contest there of the 11 of the day.